Good morning and welcome to a review of Yuri is My Job. Now, we're on episode 6, and after watching this show last night, coming home from work and watching it last night, I was so tired to do it. But after watching this episode, it comes to my attention that Yuri is My Job is on the rise. It's on the rise in terms of story. I like this series now. I'm starting to love it. I can see why people read the manga of it. You know what? After this series is done, after this anime series is done, I'm gonna read the manga because I feel like the manga got more details in depth. Maybe it followed, maybe they skipped a few, but I'm gonna look into that. Now, last week, Hime and Yano's relationship are 2 of 1. They hate each other to the core. And I said last week, yeah, the past is the past. You gotta move on, this and that. But their hatred towards one another is strictly hated. And after last week, after Yano breaking character about the whole Onesama being sisters to one another, it's sad to say that this is gonna be one of those threats that's gonna hinder Yano as the villain. And like I said last week, they're gonna portray her as the bad girl of this whole thing. And like this episode, we got it. Now, this episode had a few twists and turns, but I'm gonna get to that too. So let's get right to this review of episode 6 of Yuri is My Job. Okay, now we get these blogs again. When it comes to blogs and when it comes to people doing reviews of a restaurant or food critics, whatever, they look at a certain trait and they post it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Any BuzzFeed you look on. Hime feels like it's her fault, seeing Yano as the villain. Everybody see her as the villain because she broke character. She broke full, like hating Hime for the rest of her life, and that triggers the crowd. Having said all of that, we have to keep the show running. They gotta keep the play going. Now, the pressure was on Hime. Everybody, the food people. Everybody didn't like her. Everybody didn't like Yano because of what she did. And everybody in the crowd is looking at Hime saying, "Oh, I don't mean to offend you, but are you okay? This and that." But the training that Yano and Hime had for each other last week, it actually worked out. They actually worked it out. Like, oh, Nisama, you're holding the plate wrong. How many times have I told you? And the teamwork is there. Their chemistry is still there. The whole chemistry is still there. However, people don't really. They think this is fake. Like they think that Yano. I'm not going by their cafe names. I'm going by the names that we know and that we know and love. You know what I mean? I don't want to go by their names, their cafe names. I'm going by this portray name. So I'm sorry. They still see like Yano is lying to her again. They think he's lying. Like, oh, she's just lying. She doesn't love Hime. She is straight up lying. So we're just gonna ignore the fact that all this is happening. So, and they all feel bad for her. But even though now this is where I'm gonna hate the Kanoko. I'm gonna be honest with Kanoko, the blue hair girl. She is my least favorite girl. She's about to be my least favorite. Not because she's a yandere, but there's more to this than meets the eye. I'm gonna get to that. So again, Hime felt so bad for Yano when they were little, and she feels guilty for this one. So now she has to lie. Not lying, but she doesn't want anybody to hurt Yano, her feelings and all that stuff. It was like for Yano and Hime to break character and to be opened in that cafe in front of everybody to let them know their true feelings. And that's what's blocking Hime and Yano's relationship. Hime and Yano's love for each other. It's that hold that they couldn't hold their emotions for so long that Hime literally put on a show. Courageous as that was, she put on a show, showing everyone this cross is the sisterhood, and I don't want to separate this bond that we have and all that. But Yano came up to her and changed the entire landscape of the cafe, saying, I love you. She's saying, I love you. And then when she hugged Hime cried. But here's the thing. She's not crying of lying. There's are cries of lies and there's are lies. There's like crying of guilt and there's crying of sorrow and all that. And when Hime cried, it was true beauty. I almost got teary-eyed just watching that. They finally expressed their feelings for each other. Finally, and everyone was clapping and I was clapping. Now, for my sake, okay, I know you're the manager of this whole cafe, but with that cast of yours, I think you can still operate. I think you can still run a cafe. I think you could put on a show. I'm just saying. But now that Hime and Yano's relationship is there, it's safe to say that it's not just gonna be Onisama. It's not gonna be just sisterly thing. I mean, the girl love is there. I like Yuri animes like this because it don't rush the relationship like that. Kind of like Citrus. Okay, sure, Citrus gave us the first kiss in the episode, shockingly. But Yuzu's and Mei relationship was beginning to build with two polar opposites, one this and that, and then the rise of the girl's love is there. When I look at Hime and Yano's relationship in this, for the first 6 episodes, I can see their rise of the girl love, for feelings for one another. Let me say that. Feelings for one another will escalate. Yeah, they might have some problems down the road, but that's what relationships do. When one has a problem, the other one does. Okay, but they work together, and I see them, and they put on a show. They have put on a show. Now, Kanoko, the crazy Hime stalker, the 100% yandere of 2023. Crazy yandere. I mean, there were moments in this episode where she got clipped. Like the moment Sumika slapped Hime's butt, she got a little she got that. The moment when she didn't want to talk to Sumika, and I look at that clip, and I'm looking at that, I'm like, you know what? I think Sumika likes, this might be looking at this, but I think Kanoko likes Sumika. I don't know why. But just the way how she's afraid of talking to her, I think like there's some kind of love thing going on. But the yandere thing, the moment Hime and Yano feelings were live and so real, so surreal in the middle of the cafe, Kaneko just like mad as hell that Hime loves Yano, and that's triggering the yandere code. Yandere one-on-one. Never upset a yandere. Because if you do, shit like this happens. There's gonna be some blood. There's gonna be some murder. There's gonna be some crazy shit going on. Tied her up to a room. Tied her up. Tied your couple. Tie your couple in a closet so that when you open the doors, you're all tied up. Those are kind of yandere vibes I'm feeling. But then this episode was so good, it started diving down. Like, by diving down, I mean with a cliffhanger, a creepy ass cliffhanger, by the way. So at the end of the day, to sum it up, to sum this up, Hime called Kaneko's phone because she left at the cafe. Kaneko was afraid to talk to Sumika for some reason, but I think there's some connection with her. I think she does like Sumika in some way. Okay. And the phone and Sonika's phone was unlocked. Now I ask myself this: why the hell? Who does that? Who keeps who leaves a phone with an unopened passcode? Really? So you're telling me we could do this? We could just like open someone's phone and just like, oh, it's on. Guys, we have there's our passcodes and Face ID for a reason. So again, with a creepy ass stalker cliffhanger, Sumika looked at photos of nothing but Hime photos. When she sleep, when she goes this, when she goes that, when she eats, everything. Creepy 100%. Like I said, what a way to end this episode on a stalker cliffhanger note. Like we just had a good this episode was really good. It was truly true developing in terms like we went from Hime and Yano's arguing, from not seeing each other, from hating each other and their love for each other, this whole roller coaster to like stalker mode. And I'm like, oh my God, we can't have one good happy ending. We cannot have a good happy ending. I mean, again, we just had a good relationship going on with Hime and Yano relationship. It was so freaking good. And then you're gonna end it with a cliffhanger like this. It started diving in, and I'm like, oh my God. Yo, I think Sumika, and then I think next week's episode is gonna be her episode, because it says the Gairu thing stuff. But looking at this episode, I think Sumika is gonna use this as her trump card. I think she's gonna use this as her trump card. Because knowing that Kanoko loves Hime in yandere mode, she's gonna try to prevent Kanoko from not breaking the relationship that Hime and Yano had for each other. I just hope that she does whatever she can to make sure this doesn't happen. And I hope it doesn't. But again, this was a good episode. This was a great episode, by the way. I mean, finally, the confessions came out. They truthful love with one another, and everything is out the blue. And with next week's episode being that the stalker of Yandere Mode coming in, Kanoko and Sumika, let's see what these two are gonna do that fits in this so-called relationship. And I hope Sumika does a good job maintaining order to keep the relationship alive. So, thank you for watching my review of Yuri's My Job. I look forward for next week's episode of it, and let's see what their relationship goes on from here. So, see you next week.